Hi, I'm Carolyn, trichologist at Absolute. We've got another story for you today. This one's a young female. She was 28 and she had been experiencing hair loss, like physical hair loss, but also hair thinning. And what she said, for her, she could really see it in her middle part line. She used to part her hair in the middle and she could no longer do that because there was so much scalp showing. She said that it progressively happened over 3 years, and she had visited a dermatologist who recommended the Spironolactone, which is the anti-male hormone, anti-androgen medication, and it had helped, but it no longer was working for her. She also described that she had used the birth control to help control acne, so it was for an acne treatment in her early 20s, which is an unusual age to be having acne. So I suspected something else was going on. We're always looking for underlying causes here, particularly in a younger person. And we also uncovered that she was having very heavy cycles that were unexplained, and it was going on for like a month at the time. So she had to change the pill. So there was quite a few different things going on. And she remembers feeling very tired around that time as well. So as we said, we always look at the bloods to check for underlying causes, and what we found is she had a slightly low ferritin. So it wasn't a deficiency, but it was lower than what we need to grow hair. Okay, and then when we look into a history, we found that her ferritin in the past, over the last 2 to 5 years, had been so low, it was a deficiency. So it had been as low as 6 and 16, which is a state of hair loss. So what appeared to be just female pattern thinning was now turning out to be a diffuse hair thinning, or what we call telogen effluvium, because she had deficiency. So what people come to me and say, but the ferritin's better now. Yes, but if it was that low in the past, it's actually done some damage at a cellular level. So your hairs are no longer growing properly, and this is diffusely over the entire head. We used a microscope, we could see that. So she had a breakdown at a cellular level because of the past ferritin deficiency. And then she had this early onset female pattern thinning as well. So what we also found is she had super low vitamin D. I say this all the time, vitamin D, we need it for our hormones. So when you've got any indication of this pattern hair thinning, you must check your vitamin D levels. So we addressed all of that. We also found she had really, really low B12. So when we dived in, we found she wasn't eating as well as what she could. Her food combining was terrible. So we had a lot of work to do. So we put together a topical program to clean and prepare the scalp. We had to treat both the hair cycle and the pattern thinning. Her scalp was in a terrible condition, so we could not use any minoxidil. So this was the little routine that we used. We asked her to do it 3 times a week, and then we used a bit of vitamin D. We used a type of iron that was going to help with her ferritin, but also had some B12 in it, which was super important. We gave some other supporting nutrition with minerals, and she wasn't absorbing, so we used our beautiful green drink to create the alkaline environment. And for her, I chose collagen. I particularly like the bovine type of collagen that are also supporting skin, hair, nails, and gut all at the same time, and it helps the green drink taste good. So she followed this program for 4 months, and we saw some really dramatic improvements in the hair density, the hair color. And by no means was it as good as what it could be, and she did say to me she was really good for 2 months but kind of fell off. She's got a really high profile job, and she just said life got in the way. But when we looked at these results and we said you only did half of what you could do, imagine what you could get if you really got in there and did your treatment properly. So we've got renewed energy. She is physically feeling better. We saw some improvement in the bloods, but we have to keep working on this. So, you've got to understand that what's happening to your hair today isn't just a result of yesterday, last 6 months, last year. It can be 5. I can trace it back sometimes 10 and 15 years, and the low ferritin is the key point. If you're having hormonal acne, problems with your cycle, check your vitamin D. It's essential to have sufficiency for proper hormonal balance as well. So what I help people with, hair loss, hair thinning, scalp conditions, autoimmune conditions, anything to do with the hair or scalp, and I can help you anywhere in the world. Food's also super important. We work a lot with that as well. So what you need to do is email me. It's info@absolique.com.au.